Hello, and welcome to Introduction to SEO. My name is Rebecca Schmidt, and I am an account supervisor with Nuffer-Smith-Tucker. Nuffer-Smith-Tucker is a San Diego-based public relations agency with digital and interactive capabilities, and I oversee a variety of our digital and website projects. We are very excited to be partnering with the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce and San Diego County to present to you this brief tutorial on an introduction to SEO. Let's get started. What is SEO? Don't everybody raise their hands. SEO is search engine optimization. Simply put, it's the process to improve your website's visibility in search engine rankings and make it easier for people to find you online. So when you go to Google and you type in a search, those search engines, those results, those are ranked, those are decided for you based on what the search engine's SEO algorithms have decided should be relevant to those keywords that you're searching. Some phrases to understand. Search engine marketing. It's another term for SEO. Search engines, when we talk about them, we're talking about Google, Bing, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, and others. There's always seems to be some new ones popping up. Search engine algorithms. This is the way a search engine determines the quality and relevance of a particular website or web page to the user search. So we don't know necessarily all the formulas that are being put into place in their algorithms, and we don't really need to. But it's just important for you to know that this is how a search engine will decide a ranking, decide where to put a website or a web page as it relates to certain keywords, and they're constantly tweaking their algorithms. For you, it's important to follow the basic principles of SEO to help grow your website and achieve your online business goals. But don't worry, these basic principles are actually pretty easy to follow. So in our training today, we will provide an overview of the SEO basics, writing content, adding in the meta and alt tags and descriptions, using HTML markup for programming your web pages. We'll also give you a brief overview of local SEO, and we'll give you some resources and tools to help you with your SEO journey. Search engine rankings. Search engines continue to be gatekeepers for how we find information online. So the example that I have shown here is I typed in San Diego small business. These are the results that Google has given me based on my keyword search, based on what they think is relevant to me. They have ranked these on the first page of their results. So how it works is the algorithm will crawl your website. They have little spiders, as we like to say, and they will index its content. So they'll kind of save it in their system to connect back to when people type in what they think are relevant keywords for your site. Search engines will then rank your website or web pages for how they should appear for searches related to keywords. Achieving a high spot on a results page signals that your website is a credible source for information people are seeking, since most often they don't click over to the second or the third or the fourth page. You know, I've heard it many times before. We want to be on the first page of Google. Well, by following some of the basic SEO, we can hopefully help to get you there. SEO basics. So first, the very first step is creating great content. Remember, we write content for people, not for search engines. Yes, we want obviously our content to be relevant and accessible to search engines, but ultimately our goal is to have creative, catchy content that our target audiences just keep coming back for and turning to as a resource and wanting to consume and ultimately take advantage of our service or offerings. You also want to conduct keyword research. So use free tools like Google Keyword Planner or SEMrush. Paid tools are available too. These will help you just as you're trying to figure out what keywords in particular you would like to optimize for, how often they actually get searched, if they are considered to be highly used keywords by a lot of other websites. Because if you pick keywords that are overly used, sometimes it can be harder to cut through the clutter. So for example, for the Nuffer-Smith-Tucker website, we have optimized ourselves for San Diego public relations, and we do appear on that first page of Google. And we have used those keyword phrase in many different areas across our site. Now, this next one's important. Don't stuff your content with keywords. Again, going back to the first point, we write content for people, not search engines. You don't want a bunch of keywords or keyword phrases all jumbled into a single paragraph that it just is so hard and confusing for a person to read. So you have to be very mindful. It's really better off to maybe pinpoint one or two keywords per page that you really want to optimize for, and then make that your focus. Sprinkle in hyperlinks in your content, but don't overdo it, because people don't like to look at a bunch of hyperlinked content. Hurts my eyes. So you'll want to add in some internal links to other pages or blog posts on your website. You'll also want to link keywords to other pages or posts on your website that discuss those same relevant keywords. So for example, if I'm writing a blog post about San Diego public relations, I would tie back to other content from our site that also talks specifically about San Diego public relations. Link to external websites that make sense. Partners, industry groups, ask them to link back to you too, because external links also help to increase your credibility with the search engines. This next one is important. Post new content often. When you post new content, it lets search engines know, like, oh, there's a new page ready for my spiders to crawl. A blog is a really great way to do this. You don't necessarily have to do a blog, but you can also just update other content on your site. But this is really a great way to drive SEO. Next, we want to make sure we actually take advantage in the back end of our website. A lot of content management systems have this, or you can also do this within the source code, depending on what you have access to, is write out your meta tags, descriptions, alt tags, like put in this content for these search engines. This won't appear on the front end of your web page, but it will greatly help the search engines as part of your SEO. So specifically, you'll want to complete a page title for every page of your website. An example is Nefer Smith Tucker, San Diego Public Relations. Again, we got our keyword phrase in there. A short description about the content on the web page that includes your keywords. So this really should be less than 155 characters with spaces. And again, you would just want it to be mentioned, maybe if it's for your homepage, you put your company name, you put your keyword phrase that you've really defined based on the service or offering you provide. But you also want it to be a description that if somebody reads it, it makes a coherent sentence. Then you'll also want to fill in your keyword or keyword phrases. Sometimes these can be called tags. Way back when, you used to want to put in a bunch of keywords all, separate them with commas. Now it's more important just to really have either a focus keyword or two, or perhaps a keyword phrase. Alt tags are also important. These are text descriptions of images that search engines use to understand what the image is about. So for example, if you have a picture of a factory, you should put in your alt tag description area, factory setting, and describe what's going on. Maybe it's HVAC pipes in a factory. You want to actually describe what that photo is of. And in addition to helping search engines, you also help with ADA compliance, and screen readers use these alt tags for people who have visual impairment. So here's an example of putting in some meta and alt tags in the back end of a CMS. This is a WordPress example from a blog post. Next is the techie stuff. This is where you will need a website developer's help, but when you program your website to take advantage of semantic markup and structure, these elements will really help to drive the SEO. So you'll want to use HTML tags that define elements on the page so that both human and machines are able to read it. So you kind of take advantage of these, we all kind of, if you have some website experience, you might know what a paragraph tag is, or, a bold, or what these different things. I kind of broke some out here for you just to show that how you can designate using HTML tags. So a website knows this is a single paragraph, then I do a space, then I bold this word, maybe I underline here. but these markups all help make your content more readable for the search engines. It's also important to use headings and subheadings to break out content blocks and topics. So instead of just having one single long page of just nothing but text, take advantage of being able to chunk out your copy into shorter areas and use headlines and subheads to help drive what the content's about. So headings not only help the reader understand your content, but again, it also just helps search engines to understand the topics covered on the page. And don't forget your keywords. So here's some examples of where you can see a HTML markup in a source code. So this is the H2 tag for the R team with some paragraph copy here. And then I also included a front end example of where you can see the R team H2 tag and the paragraph copy. And you can see we also have a link. Local SEO. Local SEO is a really great way to tap into local, like the opportunities that Google and some of the other search engines provide, allowing you to better identify where you are physically located. And if you have more than one location, just so that way people start to search specifically like a specific location. So like San Diego, something to do with your service, then you are more likely to be found. So the first step to tapping into local SEO is to create a Google My Business profile. And here is the web address, google.com/business, where you can go and actually create your profile. You can kind of customize the information that's available that's then publicly shared. I gave an example of the Neffer-Smith-Tucker public relations profile here for you to see. You'll want to make sure that your name and address and phone number are consistent online. This is not only in your Google My Business profile, this is across the board. So it should be consistent on your website. It should be consistent in your social media. It should be consistent if you are featured in a membership site or an industry organization. Like you just want that information to be consistent so Google sees that it is consistently being used and it's accurate. You will also want to review online map data for accuracy. So you can check the Google Maps and some of the other online mapping tools available just to make sure that they actually are showing your location correctly. Next, create location pages on your website if you have more than one location. So this kind of some people might not always think about this, like, oh, I have a location in San Diego but then La Mesa and Chula Vista. Well, you can have specific location web pages on your site for each of those locations so that the search engines have something to direct back to specifically for each of those pages. Finally, create localized website content for your location. So whether this is again, just a resource page tied to a specific location or a community page or something, but the more localized content you create around these locations, the more that the search engines will see that these locations are relevant for your business and relevant to the keywords included on those pages. Now, some high-level takeaways. So SEO offers many advantages to helping you rank higher in search results. Some key easy ways to take advantage of it is to draft catchy content that is written for people, but you keep in mind the search engines. Make sure every web page has a page title, meta description, and keywords, and use your alt tags. Don't forget your alt tags. ADA compliance too is a really good bonus. Utilize semantic markup in your website programming, HTML markup, like take advantage of it. Make sure that you code your websites correctly and the search engines will reward that. Take advantage of your local SEO opportunities. Don't forget Google My Business and to track your map data and your address and phone number and other information across all sources online. This is the biggest one. Be ready to keep learning. Things change. The search engines will change. They change constantly how they crawl and index websites. So what the SEO practices that you're putting in place today, you may need to enhance in a couple of years, and that's okay. That's all part of the SEO journey. but you're able to utilize some of the basic tools to help you. So there's a lot of really great online resources like SEMrush, Google Keyword Planner, and more. Take advantage of those. Keep drafting new content and modifying your target keywords as you need. Don't just say like, I'm good with these set of keywords. I don't need to change anything. But remember, things keep changing and we need to keep learning and keep improving. Finally, take advantage of online resources such as Google Skills Shop and LinkedIn Learning. They're constantly adding some new courses and videos for you to consume. So these are great things for you to also dive into as part of your SEO journey. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you got a lot out of an intro to SEO. If you have questions or comments, we're happy to connect with you. Our phone number and our email address is on the screen, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.